A pleasant good evening and welcome to SAT TV's Channel 9 Evening News. I am Nisha Charles.
And I am Desmond Joseph.
And we are your presenters for the evening. Thank you for joining us. Among the major developments, impressive lineup for the Curl Fest 2012.
Antigua government mulls next move in gaming case.
200,000 flee Aleppo in Syria.
And in sports, Dominica secures gold medals in Windward Islands Games.
Details of these and other stories after the break.
Support local. Support SAT Telecommunications Ltd, the people's choice. Join hands with us. Come and sign up for your digital TV connection today. We got the sharpest, cleanest, brightest digital TV connection. No antiquated analog service, only pure digital and many new packages coming soon. With latest in sports, movies, children programming and much more. So if you have your flat screen TV and you want to see quality TV, join now. Sign up today for your digital television. Support local, support SAT Telecommunications Ltd, the people's choice.
Thank you for staying with us. Now for the details of the news. The National Export Council Secretariat and the Dominica Coalition of Service Industries, in collaboration with Dexia, Cultural Division, Discover Dominica Authority, and the Dominica Festival Committee, presented a training workshop on intellectual property and management in the music and film industries. Mr. Eisenhower Douglas, representing the Ministry of Employment, Trade, Industry and Diaspora Affairs, says Dominica is moving from a banana era to a post-preferences era on which intellectual property is a core component of the emerging economy.
We hear about people like Bill Gates, one of the richest men in the world. If he's not the first, he's the second. If he's not the second, he's the third. But a core component of his wealth is intellectual property. Okay? And therefore, the whole business of intellectual property must be something we must pay a lot of attention to as that new economy of ours continues to evolve. And so in that context, I would want to join in congratulating the National Export Secretariat, National Export Council, for hosting this event in collaboration with the other agencies.
He says the government of Dominica endeavors to create an enabling environment to stimulate growth in exports in their creative industries and enable stakeholders to take advantages of market opportunities that present themselves locally and externally.
We are very fortunate to have two countries, what they call the departments of France on our doorstep that are part of Europe. I'm talking about Martinique and Guadeloupe. We are moving forward in tangible forms of cooperation with those two countries on the geothermal front. And I know quite a bit about that given my involvement, in some of the activities taking place. But just as important are the many other areas, and the creative industries is the area of emphasis, today.
It is estimated that copyright-based industries contribute about 5% of the GDP of the CARICOM region, and globally the music industry is estimated at 130 billion.
As such, the government has created a legal and administrative framework by enactment of modern copyright law. The law has been in place since 2003, and many of us may not be conscious of that, but that is the case. And I recall when I had the privilege of serving as the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Culture, through interfacing with Mark Marie, Raymond Lawrence, and the management of DBS Radio, the relevance of that piece of legislation became very apparent. And I won't go into some of the details of the dispute that was raging, at the time, but it is safe to say that there was an amicable solution to that particular dispute.
Creativity and innovation is the bedrock of the music and film industry, and we must always seek to protect our creative works through all available means, such as establishment of proper management systems. The workshop will focus on music publishing and signalizing rights, music and film chain analysis, and management contracts between artists and managers, among others.
The Commonwealth of Dominica is enjoying excellent relations with the Kingdom of Morocco based on mutual respect and has formalized cooperation in a number of fields, including agriculture, tourism, and human resource development. The Moroccan Agency for International Cooperation plays a major positive role in the advancement, promotion, and strengthening of relations and cooperation. Dominica and the Kingdom of Morocco have also collaborated on a number of matters of mutual interest at the level of the United Nations and other international fora. In this regard, Dominica wishes to state that it continues to support fully the autonomy plan on Sahara explored under the aegis of the United Nations. Dominica is convinced that it is a credible, realistic and serious plan which has the potential of resolving the issue permanently and to the benefit of all concerned. Dominica is prepared to assist in whatever way possible in seeking the successful implementation of the autonomy plan. Dominica also wishes to state it is strong solidarity and support for the sovereignty of the Kingdom of Morocco. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit wishes to thank His Majesty the King for the prompt assistance given to Dominica in the aftermath of Hurricane Ophelia, which caused severe and widespread infrastructural damage to the Commonwealth of Dominica in 2011. He went on to say he looks forward to even closer collaboration in all areas of mutual interest in the future. Long live the strong bond of friendship and solidarity between the two nations.
Something needs to be done. These were the words of Massac residents. Since the effects of Storm Ophelia, which occurred on September 28, 2011, certain things were promised to the Massac residents and work is yet to be done. Parliamentary representative of the Massac Amaro constituency, Mr. Rayburn Blackmore, promised the road since the steps had to be broken down after the dreadful damages. A wall was promised as well to protect the residents and their homes in case of another flash flood. Residents fear that their lives may be in danger since we are in the rainy season. They mentioned that the only reason they are alive right now is because the storm occurred during the late afternoon and not at night. Apart from the wall pending situation, the steps which were broken down to build a main road is yet to be paved, and when it rains it becomes dangerous to everyone within the community. Vehicles can access the roads, however it is not completed. The Massac residents are urging for the wall to be built at least.
Dominicans and goat meat lovers will all flock to the community of La Plaine on August 4th for the first ever La Plaine Goat Festival, where a full day of activities has been planned by the La Plaine Goat Festival Committee. Public Relations Officer of the Goat Festival Committee, Mr. Eamon Stedman, says this festival was established all in the effort to encourage goat rearing.
Trying to get the young people on board, try to get them into the habit of rearing a goat, encourage a creative market for goats, marketing the economy, the community of La Plaine on whole, exposing the community to various types of goat dishes. You know, you have various goat dishes, stew goat, barbecue goat, you know, just to name a few, curry goat, you know, and get them into the habit of also preparing them.
Mr. Stedman pointed out that there is a very high demand for goat meat, which is a very expensive meat, so they are on a drive to get residents of the La Plaine and environs into goat rearing so they can supply the high demand for goat meat. He added that they are also trying to make La Plaine a hub for goat meat production and also goat rearing, which they are hoping that at the end of the activity many persons would be interested in. Secretary of the La Plaine Goat Festival Committee, Mr. Derek Lestrade, says that this event is an eco-tourism product which the Goat Festival Committee, the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Tourism would like to see hosted annually. Currently, a goat raffle is being held where the winner will receive a goat. The winner will be announced at the festival.
There will be goat race, and that is an entertaining part of it, a goat race, and it will be held right on the street, okay, and to add to it, there will be a goat show. The goat show, it will be the best dressed goat. Okay, and that is another entertaining part of it that I know people want to see. Right, come to see the best dressed goat. Right, there will be another activity that will really bring the people together, and that is domino competition. The domino competition will be 6 players per team, and it is an impromptu team. You come, you want to be part of it, you get 6 players together and you register.
The winner of the dominoes competition will receive a cash prize in addition to a trophy. There will also be tour guides readily available to take interested persons on hikes to Sari Sari Falls, which is one of the most beautiful waterfalls in Dominica.
The music for the day will be provided by Kubuli Big Truck, the Blokorama style, and during all that time there will be Lapo Cabrit entertaining the spectators and the audience, and at the end of it all, from midnight, there will be the Mass Camp Calypsonians. Okay, so we have a packed day for the people visiting La Plaine on the 4th.
The secretary pointed out that one of the goals of the festival is whenever someone thinks of buying a goat or goat meat, they will think of La Plaine.
I want Dominicans to know that on the 4th of August 2012, the place to be is in La Plaine, right, from 11 o'clock. Those who want to make it earlier, even better, because before that 11 o'clock, you have a choice of Sari Sari, Tabiri, Bootsat Beach. You can stop at Rosalie to take a shower. You could go to the White River, you could go to Laron River and spend the day with the family in La Plaine. Because La Plaine is one of the best villages you could take an outing to, right? So apart from coming to the Good Festival and have fun for the entire day until daybreak Sunday morning, you can come from 7 o'clock in the morning, enjoy the river, enjoy the beach, enjoy the ambience.
Today's activities will take place at the Willis Junction in La Plaine, where a ceremony at 11 a.m. will start off the festival.
Damien Jr. Gong Mali, Taurus Riley, Crossfire and Creole Lass will be performing at the 16th edition of the World Creole Music Festival at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium on October 26th, 27th and 28th. Colin Piper, chairman of the Dominica Festivals Committee, says, these events play a critical role in aiding us to attract visitors to the island, and throughout entertainment news and promotion, the island receives great promotions.
So visitors during the festival season come from a wide spectrum of places, with Guadeloupe, the United States, particularly the New York and Florida areas, Martinique, St. Lucia, and St. Martin and St. Martin being the top 5 countries represented. In 2011, 63% of visitors interviewed were in Dominica, particularly for the World Creole Music Festival.
Johnny Ingle, acting country manager of Digital, says, being the headline sponsor of the festival, it is still the people of Dominica who will make this festival a premier Creole event of the world.
We are World Creole Music Festival. It falls to us, the people of Dominica. Yes, there are sponsors and there are committees, but it will be the people of Dominica and the visitors that makes this what it is, the premier Creole music event in the world. And I implore and ask each of you tonight, listening, watching, attending here this evening, to attend, give it your full support, and make this what it is by nature, the premier Creole music event in the world.
Digicel presented a check of $225,000 to the Dominica Festivals Committee. Minister for Culture, Honorable Justina Charles, says the festival helps to enrich our culture, and pre-festival events promotes our indigenous Creole music, dance, fashion and cuisine. It also stimulates growth and economic activity in the cultural industry for media and graphic artists with sound and lighting and video production.
This festival has brought economic benefits to most, if not all, sectors of society. And such impact is not confined to Dominica, but has spread to our neighboring islands. Taken as a whole, the World Creole Music Festival is much more than a music festival. It is a festival of Creole cuisine, fashion and craft, and requires a wide range of cultural products and services. The World Creole Music Festival thus contributes to an overall music and cultural tourism package available in Dominica each year. A cultural tourism package that is unrivaled in the Caribbean.
She commends the local artists and bands who have contributed to the uniqueness and richness of our culture. She commended Midnight Groovers for continuing to thrill patrons with raw, undiluted, uncontaminated music. Honorable Ian Douglas, Minister for Tourism, says, this should be a proud moment for us as we demonstrate our pride in our country and people belonging to a common history, the Francophone Creole heritage.
After 15 years of this 3-day event, this event and this activity has become a part of us, a part of our identity. Another of the activities which define us as a people and which highlights our capacity to deliver and to participate in enjoyment. From its humble beginnings, the World Creole Music Festival has burgeoned into a renowned attraction, drawing hundreds and thousands of people from our neighboring islands. In addition, it has become an annual meeting point for Dominicans living abroad, much in the same manner as Carnival brings persons from the diaspora.
He says the World Creole Music Festival is not just about profit making, but the benefits that are occurring throughout the years.
This event is all about the benefits to the nature island. The World Creole Music Festival is a product emanating from the enabling framework that government, through the Ministry of Tourism, and agencies such as the Dominica Festivals Committee, and by extension the Discover Dominica Authority, has put in place to stimulate the tourism sector.
Here's Leroy Waddick's charts with some of 2012 World Creole Music Festival lineup.
From Jamaica, the award-winning, record-breaking Damien Junior Gong Mali.
Will you believe me when I say affairs of the heart, together we've grown, if ever apart. All I want you to know is your love is life-changing, and I couldn't be the same without you, darling.
And from Barbados, Caribbean sensation Crossfire.
Oh gosh, I'm say, hey, me fretting up about the hair I'm flexing.
And from Haiti to Tahitien Passé, Criolla.
Other performers will be made public at the end of August.
Is Jeff Joe really gone? If I say yes and you say no, is Jeff Joe really gone?
Members of the drug squad and the task force conducted an anti-drug operation in the village of Girdel on Thursday, 26 July. This operation proved to be very rewarding, as during the operation over 1,000 cannabis trees were destroyed and 2 individuals were arrested. John Loftus Later of Girdel and Joseph Alcendo of Montjean were arrested and slapped with 3 charges. They were charged with possession of cannabis, possession of cannabis with intent to supply, and cultivation of cannabis. They appeared before Orozo Magistrate on Friday, July 27th, where Mr. Later pled guilty to all 3 charges and was convicted on cultivation of cannabis. He was fined $20,000. All charges were then dropped against Mr. Alcendo, who pled not guilty to all charges.
With the 4th Annual Youth Series 2012 coming to a close, CEO of VF Inc., Dr. Valda Henry says it was very successful and a memorable experience unlike no other. At the closing ceremony of the Educational Youth Series, which was held at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium on Friday, July 27th, Dr. Henry pointed out that the year's hosting of the Youth Series had the highest participation with close to 200 students. She said the students engaged in a number of discussions such as building healthy family relationships and self-worth, where both the students and parents made valuable contributions in making the discussions a success.
We also asked them to go out and do research on mapping the communities, on their parents, on their grandparents. And in that one, because of the stadium, we had the names. We got Billy Doctrove, Mr. Clem John, and Irving Shillingford, who came in to meet and to speak to the students. Dr. Shyla Esprit, a young Dominican. In fact, when Mr. John saw, he said, oh, you're just 14. But no, she's not 14 anymore. But she's really gotten her PhD at a very young age, because Shyla is still in her 20s. And she facilitated some sessions with the young persons. Shyla did managing peer pressure with the young persons, and she also facilitated the discussion where they spoke about the expectations and what they would be contributing to the series.
They also had sessions with bank tellers where they taught the students ways to manage money, financial planning, and preparing for higher education. In addition to the educational discussions, the students also went on to a number of field trips, one of which was to Exotica, with Mr. Atherton Marte and his team, where they saw up to 30 different fruits, some of which they were introduced to for the first time.
And that's why for me, even when, yes, young people, sometimes they are disruptive and I tell you about the litter and I'm tired of telling them the same thing over and over and over again, I still don't go shaking my head and saying, oh, these young people. I just still say there's still so much goodness. It's for me to find a way to tap into that goodness so that that goodness can be revealed to the world, revealed to us. And I think that's the approach we have to take with young people, to recognize that there is so much goodness in them. Some of them don't even know it. Some of them don't know the potential that they have. But for us to recognize that potential and help them to see it if they don't, so that they can truly give us the best that they have.
The facilitators also dug deeper into important topics that tend to shape the minds of the youth, such as sex and sexuality, knowing and being true to self, peer pressure, mapping our community, leadership development, preparing for higher education, and the job market. When asked how the idea came about to host the youth series, Dr. Henry had this to say.
I always say to people, if you ask me what is my vocation, I'll tell you my vocation is to teach. I say I am nothing more but a teacher. No matter what else I do, that's my vocation. I'm here to teach. I think that's why I'm here. I think that's the reason God has me on earth. That's my life purpose. And so even if my work, VF in consulting, every time I go out, I teach. But in 2006, 2007, when I conceived the idea of, I was looking around and I was saying, I find we spend so much time celebrating, when you look at who we consider to be heroes, it's almost always somebody outside of Dominica, almost always somebody outside of the Caribbean. And I say, right within our region, we have heroes. Right within Dominica, we have heroes. Right within our families, there are heroes.
As a result of the Nominal Women Symposium, which celebrated the accomplishments of women, the Youth Series is an extension for young people to celebrate the achievements while inspiring others.
With the Youth Series, we try to say, what are some of the skills they need to ensure that they can take their place in the future, their place in society. Because we say often the youth are the future of the nation, and that is true. But what kind of future will we have if we have not prepared our youth well for that future? And so I think that's where that onus came, is as part of my little contribution in preparing the youth to ensure that we as adults have a better future. And I think as adults and as parents, we play a critical role. We always cry out about young people. But I say a lot of times, and I know I get people, my friends in particular, get upset with me when I say that. I say a lot of times we adults are responsible for the behavior of the young people.
Dr. Henry said that we as adults need to set examples not only by words but by actions for our young people to stay on the right path. She went on to praise the team and all the sponsors who came on board to make the Youth Series possible, and is looking forward to their continued cooperation for the Youth Series 2013 to be bigger and better. Each participant received a certificate at the end of this 5-day program, and some received special prizes. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.
SAT Telecommunications Ltd is the official rights holder and broadcaster of the 2012 London Olympic Games. Support local, support SAT Telecoms Ltd, the people's choice. Join hands with SAT and come in and sign up for your digital internet connection today, the fastest broadband digital internet. Why settle for imitation when you can get a better choice? Choose from our 5 packages. We've got the warm-up package going at 256 kilobytes for $28.75. We've got the breezy package at 1.5 megabytes going at $57.50. We've got the Maverick package at 3 megabytes going at $69. We've got the Jet Stream package at 4 megabytes going at $126.50. And we've got the Warp Drive package at 6 megabytes going at $241.50. So come in today and join in hands with the family of SAT Telecoms Ltd and sign up for your fastest digital broadband internet service today.
Welcome back. In news from the Regis, Barbados Ambassador to the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, Robert Morris, has declared that more must be done to educate the region's youth about CARICOM. He made the statement at the CARICOM Quiz and CARICOM Cool Kids prize-giving ceremony for the Bridging the Gap program in Barbados. Bridging the Gap is designed to help incoming first-year students to have a smooth transition into secondary school. The ambassador thinks that the CARICOM offices should ensure that they are well-qualified lecturers that could go out and teach young people in whatever forum they are in, whether it is clubs or church groups. He says it reinforces that it is a very good idea to make sure that young people are involved at the level where they can spread the message about CARICOM. In other regional news, the government of Antigua and Barbuda is considering several options as it determines how to proceed further in its dispute with the United States at the World Trade Organization (WTO) over internet gaming. The government has assembled a team under the leadership of Minister of Finance and the Economy Harold Lovell to handle the case and to see it through to its conclusion. As part of its new approach, the government has approached the Director General of the WTO, Pascal Lamy, with a view to having a mediation effort launched under his auspices. It was hoped that the mediation effort would assist in relaunching the negotiations and removing the logjam that had caused the case to drag on for a number of years. Although the Antigua government has approached the WTO regarding mediation of the dispute, it has not ruled out further direct negotiations with the U.S. if these negotiations appears likely to yield an equitable result. And on the international scene, the UN has indicated that some 200,000 people have fled intense fighting in Syria's second city, Aleppo, in the past 2 days. Government forces launched a ground assault on Saturday after a week of sporadic shelling and sorties by fighter jets. One reporter says residents are facing food shortages and power cuts. He says the rebels are outgunned by the army, but they are fighting an effective guerrilla war in the streets. A lot of poor people are suffering from a lack of food and water and are going to bed hungry. Their suffering does not seem likely to end soon. Food, water and power shortages have made life hard for residents. The ever-present danger from bombs and bullets is making it intolerable. You are watching SAT TV News. Sports is next with Mr. Larry LaRock, so stay tuned.
SAT Telecommunications Ltd is the official rights holder and broadcaster of the 2012 London Olympic Games. Support local, support SAT Telecommunications Ltd, the people's choice. Join hands with us. Come and sign up for your digital TV connection today. We got the sharpest, cleanest, brightest digital TV connection. No antiquated analog service, only pure digital, and many new packages coming soon. With latest in sports, movies, children programming and much more. So if you have your flat screen TV and you want to see quality TV, join now. Sign up today for your digital television. Support local, support SAT Telecommunications Ltd, the people's choice.
Welcome back. In sports tonight, the 2012 CBN Super 6 Windward Island Secondary School Games was formally opened by Prime Minister Honorable Tillman Thomas of Grenada on Saturday, July 28th. The theme of all the speakers was the importance of the continuation of the tradition of the inter-schools competitions, which over the years was being used to assist in strengthening the unity among the islands. At a time when financial resources were limited, the governments of the Windward Islands and the Canadian Banknote and the National Lotteries Authority were complimented for providing the finances to ensure the young athletes were guaranteed the opportunity to showcase their sporting skills. At the end of the day's activities, with St. Lucia making a short appearance, Grenada led with 208 points, Dominica 147 points, St. Vincent 143, and St. Lucia with 24. Dominica's gold medalists were Chelsea Linton in girls long jump and high jump, Simon Lawrence in boys 400 meters, girls 4x100 meters were Sherin Serra, Tabby Lockhart, Chelsea Linton, and Omayan Charles. Girls 4x400 meters were Cassandra Alexander, Tabby Lockhart, Chelsea Linton, and Omayan Charles. While the silver medalists were Shanika Yankee in girls javelin, discus, and shot put, Kevin Tuse in javelin, Dihon Defoe in long jump, Sherin Serra in 200 meters, Cassandra Alexander in 800 meters. The bronze medalists were Cassandra Alexander in 1500 meters, Omayan Charles in high jump, Tabby Lockhart in long jump, Lyndon Myers in high jump. In more sports, on day 2 on Sunday, Dominica enjoyed mixed results. In netball, Dominica went down to St. Lucia in a game that showed signs of brilliance but was controlled by Grenada throughout. In quarter 1, Dominica scored 9-14, quarter 2 5-16, quarter 3 8-7, and quarter 4 1-14, which was a total of 23-51 in favor of St. Lucia. In basketball, against St. Lucia after 9-10 deficit in the last quarter, Dominica played